Hi, I'm Tanya, and welcome to the Wonder Basement. I'm here to help with creative card ideas and papercraft ideas, and we talk a lot about how to get your creative mojo and juices flowing. And I've got so many exciting things to share with you. So let's get started. Today, I'm going to be talking about how to stamp and keep going when you make a mistake. Sometimes it's really, I'll be stamping and I really like what I'm doing, and then I'll put one element down and I'm like, oh, that's just yucky. And so I'm going to talk about the process I went through to make a really cute card. I'm going to show you that here in the end. And, just how to kind of work through that, because a lot of times the things where we make mistakes, or we think, we go to the point where a design is broken, so to speak, you'll find that if you keep going through it, you'll come out with a better design in the end, and you'll be really excited and pleased with yourself in the creative department. So I'm going to be using Stampin' Up's Artistically Inked. This set and this suite is beautiful. You'll see here in a minute how beautifully it stamps just the flower. It's got a very ethereal look, watercolor, it's got some motion when you stamp it, and that I love that about this particular stamp set. It's got some beautiful words that are just, general purpose, all season, happy birthday, thanks, and best wishes, hello. We are going to be using one of the new in colors, which is Fresh Freesia, and we're going to be using Daffodils. Oh, we're not going to be using Daffodils Light. We're going to actually be using Melon Mambo. Mango Melody. That's what we're going to be using. Let me get that out here. Right here. Okay. So we're going to be using these two colors. We're going to be using Fresh Freesia and Mango Melody. I don't know what it is about purple and yellow together. I love it. If you mix it together, you have to be kind of careful, because if you mix it together and it's, equal parts purple and yellow, you're going to get an ugly brown. If you need brown, it's a great trick. They are complementary colors, and that is why that happens. They go to a neutral of gray or brown in the center when you mix them together. So what I'm going to do, what happened, I'm going to switch cameras down to the overhead so you can see exactly what I'm doing. And I've just got a sheet of it's shimmery white cardstock, and I've cut it in half, so it is 5.5 this way and 8.5 this way. So it will make a card base. Couple things we're going to do here. Actually, what had happened is that I was stamping with this medley, because our new paper pumpkin that's coming out in June, it's available now. So if you want to get in on this, it's going to coordinate with this stamp set and this whole suite in the new catalog. So I highly recommend signing up for paper pumpkin before June 10th. You have to get in before June 10th to get this month's. There's a lot of benefits going with that, and I will post those down in the comment section. I've got a special going that if you remain at paper pumpkin, if you sign up for the June paper pumpkin, you're going to get a ribbon sampler, as well as you are also going to get, if you stay a subscriber for 6 months, I'm going to put your name in a drawing for a $25 gift card for anything you would like in the Stampin' Up catalog. So that's pretty exciting. But what I was doing is I was using Poppy. That'll be a sneak for some of my videos upcoming. But I was using Poppy, and I accidentally, I had washed my stamp off, thankfully, but I'd accidentally hit with the mango, and I thought, oh dang it, but I didn't want to waste that, so I had a piece of shimmer cardstock sitting by, and so I just wanted to stamp it, and so I stamped a few things on it. Isn't this gorgeous? It's really beautiful. And so I thought, well, before I put all of my things up, I'll just go ahead and finish stamping out the piece of paper. Now you'll see I did one stamp and then I stamped off, and then you can stamp off 2 or 3 times if you'd like. Okay, so I've got my stamp cleaner. This is the Stampin' Up chamois, and it just has water in it, and it's a wonderful cleaner. Then I'm going to use my Fresh Freesia, and I'm going to do the same thing. You'll see what I'm saying about the purple and the yellow. On this, the shades are good, so it's just kind of a mottled effect. I really love this. This stamp is gorgeous. Stamp off the edges because I want my whole sheet to be covered. This is another thing that is a little unique with this card, because I decided that I wanted to make this whole card, this is going to actually be my front and back of the card that I make. So, you don't always have to have a designer series paper, although they are gorgeous and beautiful. And this particular suite is amazing. You can also use this chamois if you get stuff on your hands. Just wipe that right off. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to show you what happened. I wanted something else on here and I couldn't decide what it was. I'm going to get a little closer so you can see. Adjust this just a tad. There you go. And I am going to get, I use the evergreen. No, I'm going to use jade. I was trying to figure out what kind of center I could put in here. So what I did, and I'm going to stamp it just the way I did, because this is kind of like the creative process. So I took my green, actually. I hate it. You really, with our foam ink pads, you really just barely need to stamp or touch your ink pad to get it inked so you don't get it on the edges. And so then I went and I did the centers in this green. And I have to say, I instantly knew that I did not like this. It was too dark, and it was it just brought the whole design down. Now I'm going to continue doing this because I'm going to show you how I fixed it, although it kind of pains me to do it again. But I'm just going to keep going here. Now, in order to, my first fix is I thought, well, maybe if I add some more dots to it in the mango and freesia, that would help soften the dots. And while I do like the texture that the same color dots have on the whole overall design, I thought if I added some in the center, maybe that would help. I just wasn't loving it. So, but I went ahead and I tried adding more, because that's a lot of times what will happen when you're designing, is that you will get to a place and it needs something and you don't like it, and you just need to keep going. Because I have to say, creating is a lot like cleaning out a garage or a bedroom. It always looks worse right before it looks amazing. So then I went back and I put some of the freesia dots in it, kind of put some on those flowers. I really do like this little dot texture that it gives your overall look. Okay, but I got to this point and I was like, that is not helping this design because the green is bringing it down. So I kind of looked around at what I had, and I have been loving this shimmery vellum. Look how beautiful that is. I mean, it picks up the light amazingly. So these are in the Stampin' Up's new in colors, this year's new in colors. So this is freesia, this is Positively Pink. This is Papaya. This is Soft Succulent, and this is Evergreen. So I took the, let's see, I'm getting rid of the greens because I don't like the greens. Not with this particular card, but I really like the Freesia, and the Papaya is also very good. So what I did is I thought, well, maybe if I take and make I thought I'll just try and tear a center of these flowers. So what I did is I started kind of laying these down on the card, and man, I loved it. I thought, oh my gosh, this is gonna work, because you can sort of see the green through the this is a almost opaque vellum. It is not a super translucent vellum, but you can see it kind of softens those green dots. And because it is a more opaque vellum than, you know, just your typical white vellum, it actually, you can put some adhesive on the back and you're not going to be able to see it. Now you can just kind of do random like circles or whatever you want. I just kept tearing until I got the shape I wanted. And so I did the Freesia on the Freesia, and then I did the Papaya. Here, I'll just do one side here. I'll show you my finished card here in a second. And then I did the Papaya on the Papaya flower. And once I put that on there, I was like, oh my gosh, that is so cool. And you know, I would have never in a million years like set out to make and use this vellum this way, because you know, there was no need to. Now you'll see right here in the center, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to glue these down really well so that I can actually put my score line in the center and then continue with making my card. Let's see here. Now that needs to be a little bigger. And you can see I am literally just tearing it. Just like that. Okay, so I'm just going to do this side for sake of time. And I have another card that sample that I can show you. So I'm going to be using the Stampin' Seal. This is the kind of the replacement of Snail, and it's a great adhesive. I really love it. It's a really strong adhesive. The a little bit stronger adhesive is the Stampin' Seal Plus, and that's what we use for like putting boxes and things together. So I'm just going to keep putting this on here. Oops. And the nice thing about this seal is that you can pick it up and then lay it back down again. The Stampin' Seal Plus is a little more, or it's a little less forgiving. This is really kind of nice because you can pull up a whole sheet, you know, if you were layering a piece of cardstock on top. Okay, so I think I've got them all. Did I get, oh no, this one. Okay, so now I'm going to take my cutter. Oh, I missed this one too. And I'm going to take my score. I'm going to score it at 4 1/4. Sorry, you can't see exactly where I'm at, but here you can. 4 1/4. You don't want your cut blade. You want your score blade. I'm going to score that on the inside. Why is that so? This must have been an off cut sheet. So I'm going to go to 4 1/4, trim this edge off on the back. See if that's not right. Nope. knows. You just gotta go with it. Okay, so you can see this where it goes off the edge. I always let my things go off the edge, and then I just come back and trim it, whether it's ribbon or embellishments, paper embellishments, or whatever. Okay, so now I decided that I wanted to, I'm going to use the freesia ribbon, and I am going to tie a bow, a really floofy, I'm going to give myself a lot of ribbon because I want it really luxurious. I'm going to tie myself a knot, hold it. I'm going to tie a real pretty bow. And I want it to kind of go up and down vertically. And you can always take, if the ribbon isn't going where you want, you can always take a little snail or a glue dot and get it right where you want it. Like that. Take this. I don't know why I'm using these terrible scissors. Give me some good snips. There we go. And then make this a little longer. So I've got a nice fluffy bow. And then I decided to go with some grape because that is a dark, deep color, kind of about 2 or 3 shades darker than the freesia. And I am using the Happy Birthday out of the set, which is a very pretty, it's a very pretty Happy Birthday. Oh, and this is one of the acrylic blocks that you get in some of our sets. If you're a new Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you will get a new block in your Paper Pumpkin kit, and they're a little thinner than the blocks that you purchase separately in the catalog, but it works. It's a great size and great weight of acrylic block. So I'm just going to take my Happy Birthday and I'm going to stamp it kind of on the vertical. Sometimes I like to put the sentiments a little bit different, in different positions that normally you would expect. I have all these pins because I pin my ribbons to hold them still. But these are acrylic little flowers, and I love them. They're hard, and they're just perfect. And they've got these little tiny ones too, but I think I decided I wanted to use both the big ones on this one. There's 2 sizes of 3 different colors. And then I'm going to take and use some glue dots. I have to see where my glue dots are. Oh, they're at a different table. Just a second. Okay, these are the glue dots, and I'm going to take and you can do this either way. You can put them on. I'm going to put 2 on here because these are pretty thick embellishments, and I want to make sure that it sticks onto the card. So I'm just going to, this is my You Pick tool, and it's fabulous for these kinds of things. I'm just going to press that on each end, and there you have a lovely birthday card. And you can kind of see the shimmer in the vellum. It gives a little bit of dimension, and it softens that ugly green center that I stamped on there. So I hope, here's my original that I did, and then here's my second one that I just did with you. Oh, one other thing. I did get that the wrong size. I don't know how I did that, but sometimes that happens. One thing I do want to show you is that I always like to put an inside on my cards, whether it is, let's see, I do need to see what size this is so this is 4, so I'm going to make it 3/4. And then it needs to be 5 1/4. I always like to put an inside on my cards so that it gives it some weight. It covers up any of the splotches that you might have gotten on the inside of the card. On the dark cardstock, then you have a place that is nice and bright that you can actually sign or write a note or whatever. So you can see what I did in here. I just added, here, I'll switch this back real quick. So I just added this piece right on top. So in here, ooh, and you can see this got a lot of it. I had ink on my mat, and that's why that is much like that. But I don't mind it too much. So I might put one over here too, just because it kind of looks like I intended for it to be that way. Again, another mistake that you can just keep going, and you don't have to have everything just be perfect. I'll show you. I'm going to fix this other side too, though, while we're talking about fixing mistakes. So it is going to be 3 1/4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to just take some snail. I think, do I want to put it this way? I really like my ribbon shining coming through, so I'm going to put a little on this side and a lot on this side. I'm going to just slide this under here. Get it right about here. And there you go. I got some more ink on it. But anyway, you can see, and it gives your card a heftier feel when you, it just gives your card a heftier feel and a more professional finish when it has a little more weight to it, has a little more finishing touches on it. So I hope you enjoyed seeing how I corrected this mistake, and hopefully it'll encourage you to just kind of keep moving through your design. And if you ever get in a conundrum and you can't figure out what to do, maybe take a quick picture of your card and post it on my Wonder Basement page at Facebook or in the comments below, and I'd be happy to give you some suggestions, because it happens to all of us, and that's how you learn to create, because you learn to move through that process and what works and what doesn't. And sometimes, honestly, sometimes you get to the place where you just got to chuck it and you start over, but that's okay too, because you've learned what doesn't work, and so that's part of the process. So you guys have a fantastic week, and I hope to see you next week on thewonderbasement.com. Bye.